Oh, landmines and jellyfish. Welcome back to Knives, I guess, and I know what you did last summer. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed and mad. But we're going to take our critical look right out of the gate at the Jin Captain Knife Kit. And first off, huge thank you to Jin. I can't thank you enough. You guys are the first ones to send me anything to review, and y'all sent something that I really was very interested in. I'm going to post a link in the description to Amazon for this thing. And they gave me my own discount code too. And that's going to be KnivesIG10. And I will also share that in the description. $29.99 for the kit. That 10% off, that's going to be about $3. So you get around $26.99, I believe. I'm no number onomist, so don't quote me on that. But if you saw the last video, the assembly on this was fast and pretty painless. Your step-by-step instructions definitely get you there. So, you know, if you're intimidated by the thought of putting something like this together out of parts, or if you're intimidated by taking your stuff apart and working on it, this is a great opportunity to learn. And it's a great opportunity to see how simple something like a liner lock can be. They're not bad at all to take apart and put back together. And I enjoyed this, and I enjoyed going through the instructions. Like, this was a very cool thing to have. And so let's take a look at what we got here. So we got G10 scales, and I think this is a sublimated print. And when you sublimate a print onto something, like I used to do that for phone cases, custom phone cases, so I'm familiar with the process. But you've got a film that has your ink on it, whatever you're going to do printed. And then you set this down in a tray and center it on that print. And then the tray goes into an oven at 300 degrees, and it pulls a vacuum. So it pulls that film down on there, and it sits for a few minutes, and the ink becomes a vapor and goes into the surface of the thing. So I'm pretty sure what that means is it's going to be at least a little bit difficult to really ding this badly enough that it chews through the print on it. One of my intrepid viewers also pointed out that the vibe on this is Evel Knievel. He is exactly right. That was one of the things I was going for, trying to describe the vibe, and went totally blank on, but yeah, right on the money. So you got the scales. It's, I am assuming sublimated G10. Don't quote me on that. I don't know what their process actually was. It just looks sublimated. Your pocket clip is tip up, which is the Lord's carry, and you flip it over and it's reversible. So they hooked you up on that, lefties. And you got a flipper tab, and let's flick the bean. Your blade is a little over 3 inches. Like, this is a nice little slab of D2, especially for a $30 knife. But you do have D2 steel on here. And so this thing feels really solid. It's got just a little bit of gravity to it, but it's got about the amount of weight that I like on just a general purpose pocket knife. You know, I do like them lighter weight, but this is kind of right there in the butter zone for, you know, what feels familiar and what feels like the knives that I carry the most often. It's kind of hard to quantify it in words, and I wish I had a tiny scale. I need to invest in one, but it's not bad. It feels really good in the hand. The weight feels really good. The action is really smooth. That's a really satisfying flick, and you can shake it and it drops closed. Now, one thing to be noted, when I put this thing together, there was just a little whisper of lock rock, and that would have broken in after a little while, but I'm not patient, so I took it apart and I flexed this thing this way and got it to center reasonably well, like it's well centered now, and it locks up firm. There's no lock rock. And I mean, shoot, it's on bearings, so you got that going for you. This thing is designed really well, and since I put it together, I'll say it's put together well, with no ego involved whatsoever. My humility is the stuff of legend. But you know, like, I like everything that I'm seeing out of this so far, and you know, I dig the vibe. I dig these colors on it. I dig everything about it. But let's take a cut on paper. If you didn't see the last video, I did a cut, but the factory edge is phenomenal. Like, they did a really good job on the factory edge before this thing got out the door. I am so impressed by this edge. You know, it's not often that I get a knife that's just straight out of the box, you know, does that kind of a clean cut. Like, I'll get them that cut clean, but not able to drag through the entire sheet in one go. This is like a cold steel grade factory edge, and y'all know how I feel about cold steel factory edges if you've been around here for very long. The newsprint cut, oh dear God. There is no resistance on that whatsoever. Just none. It's like you're cutting water. And of course, we'll get into this little notepad with the paper that's really hard to cut. I don't know if it's just the paper's been around forever and just soaked up some moisture, but this stuff is hard to cut cleanly. And, oh, I finally borked a cut. Look at that. I think that's what, cut number 4 or 5? Like, that's progress, people. It wasn't the second cut. Banner day. So, yeah, like, it does a good job cutting this stuff, too. Like, that factory edge is fantastic. I can't believe I got that many cuts before one went bad. This is a rarefied day, gentlemen. So, I'm definitely looking forward to carrying this thing. Like, I don't see anything out of sorts that might cause problems with my way of carrying. I don't see anything that's going to rub. I don't see anything that's going to hotspot. You know, it's a little bit on the thick side, but not enough to really be a problem. I don't see where there's potential problems. I'm going to carry it for a week. We're going to find them if there are any, but I don't see anything up front. The pocket clip, I do like the little star cutout on that. Like, I love touches like that. Like, those are always so cool. The pocket clip feels nice and strong. There's going to be strong retention. The dingus end on this thing looks like it's set up about how I like it for getting into and out of the waistband. Like, this should catch pretty easily. The texture is not so heavy that it grabs onto things that hard, but if your hands are a bit wet, you're still going to have some traction. So, yeah, everything about this looks really, really solid. You know, and even if you paid $30 for the assembled knife, it's still worth it, in my opinion, so far. Unless I am thoroughly surprised and some kind of weird problem shows up within the week of carry, it's totally worth 30 bucks. And the fact you have the added value of your T6 and T8 drivers, and they're set up as nicely as they are, that is a lot. That's added value. They're not terribly expensive things, but you can never have enough, and those are good ones. I like the way those are put together. I like the handles on them. Like, they're really nice. And you get some pivot lube that can handle several knives. Like, that's enough to go around for a while. So, I mean, there's a lot of good value here, and putting it together, I enjoyed putting it together. You know, it took like 7 or 8 minutes to put it together because I've had them apart and put them together a few times. But I was going with the instructions step by step, and still, like, putting it together while I'm talking and focusing on making sure I don't make the instructions look bad, still, like 7 minutes. And, you know, at least this has so far been a very good experience, you know. And Jen, again, I can't thank you enough for this. It's a very cool opportunity, especially for the first one right out of the gate. I was very interested in this the first time I saw it. And, yeah, like I said, they gave me my first custom discount code, too. That is awesome. So, you know, if you know someone that would like something like this, or if you'd like something like this, definitely go get it. So far, it's been a very worthwhile experience. And if you have someone younger in your life that you don't want having a sharp blade, and this thing is sharp, we just saw it, they have kits with G10 blades instead, so that you can put those together and they're a bit safer. Yeah, so I'm looking forward. This is going to get a full week of carry and get the same review the other knives get. We're going to do a live stream on it as soon as that week's over, and we're going to push this steel as hard as we can. I'm expecting the D2 to last a good few hours. I'm expecting it to kind of last longer than I will sitting in that chair pushing it through cardboard. But we are going to clear some extra time for the live stream and see how that goes. And then we'll come back and do the follow-up video for the guys that couldn't be there on the live stream to let you know how she did. But yeah, that is the Jin folding knife kit assembled. I am very happy with what I've got so far. And all that being said, thanks for looking at my crap. Subscribers, you guys are awesome. You keep coming in. I'm so grateful, and it's humbling that you guys are watching this and getting something out of it. Comments, I love some feedback. Let me know what you think about this thing. Just the whole thing, the kit, the end result. Like, just what are your thoughts on this? And if you're so inclined, order one. But all that being said, y'all have a nice day.